Good afternoon to one and all. I am Dr. S. Maheswari from the Department of Commerce CA, LLR College for Women. Now I am going to give a small introduction about capital gain in income tax. For income tax purpose, the income of the assessee is divided under 5 heads. The income from capital gain is the 4th head. The capital gain is divided into 2 types, that is short-term and long-term capital gain. First I say about meaning of capital gain. According to section 45 subsection 1, any profit or gains arising from the transfer of capital assets is taxable under the head capital gains in the previous year is which the transfer has taken place. Next, I discuss about what are the conditions for gains to be charged under capital gains. There should be a capital asset. That is, the assessee should have a capital assets. The capital assets should be transferred by assessee. The transfer should be taken place during the previous year. The profits or gains should arise out of the transfer of capital assets. That gains should be exempted from tax under section 54, 54B, 54EC, 54F, 54G and 54GA. Next we discuss about what are the assets not included in the capital assets. That is, any stock in trade, that is using for trading purpose, raw material, consumer stores held by the assessee for the purpose of his business or profession, that is we used that assets for his business or profession. Next, personal effect including wearing apparels, motor car, electrical appliances, refrigerator, furniture, etc. are used by assessee or by his family members. Ornaments excluding jewelry, drawings, paintings, etc. Here the term jewelry includes ornaments made by the gold, silver, platinum or any other precious metals. Agriculture land in rural area, but the land should not be situated within the limit of any municipality or cantonment board having a population of 10,000 or more. Next, 6% gold bonds issued at 1977, 7% gold bond issued at 1980, special bearer bonds 1991, gold deposits bonds issued under gold deposit scheme. Next we discuss about types of capital gain. The capital gain is divided into 2 types, that is short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain. Short-term capital gain means any gain on transfer of short-term capital assets is called short-term capital gain. Long-term capital gain means any gain on transfer of long-term capital assets is called long-term capital gain. Holding period of long-term capital assets and short-term capital assets. The short-term and long-term capital assets is divided on the basis of holding period of capital assets. It is building and land. The building and land holding period is less than 24 months. It is short-term capital assets, and holding more than 24 months in long-term capital assets. Listed SAS. Listed SAS less than 12 months short-term capital assets and more than 12 months long-term capital assets. Unlisted SAS. Unlisted SAS less than 24 months is called short-term capital assets. Holding more than 24 months is called long-term capital assets. Equity mutual funds. Holding less than 24 months short-term capital assets, more than 24 months long-term capital assets. Debt mutual funds. Debt mutual funds holding less than 36 months short-term and more than 36 months long-term. House property and non-agricultural land less than 24 months short-term and more than 24 months long-term. Other assets less than 36 months short-term and more than 36 months long-term. Next we see about how to calculate capital gain. Here is the format for calculation of capital gain. First we discuss about the calculation of short-term capital gain. First we take full value of consideration, that is sales value of an asset, less expenses on transfer. Here expenses means the expenses on sales. The answer we get net consideration, and next we deduct cost of acquisition and cost of improvement. The result is short-term capital gain. After that we deduct exemption under section 54B and 54D. We get taxable capital gain. Next we calculate the long-term capital gain. First we take full value of consideration, that is sales value of the asset, less expenses on sales, net consideration. After that, we deduct indexed cost of acquisition and indexed cost of improvement. Here, the indexed cost means the actual cost and improvement cost inflated by using cost inflation index of the year. So, we can get present value of the asset. So, long-term capital gain, then less deduction under section 54, 54D, 54EC, 54F. We get the result of taxable long-term capital gain. Next, we discuss small exercise for short-term and long-term capital assets calculation. First, government securities state whether the following are short-term capital or long-term capital assets if the assessee sells them on 1/2/23. Government securities acquired on 1/2/22 and sold on 1/2/23. So, the holding period of security is 1 year. So, it is short-term capital gain. Next, debentures purchased on 1/10/22 and the sold on same date 1/2/23. The holding period of debentures is less than 1 year, so it is short-term capital gain. House property acquired on 1/6/17 and sale on the 1/2/23. So holding period is more than 24 months, so it is long-term capital gain. Agriculture land purchased on 1/10/15 and the holding more than 24 months is long-term capital gain. Next, land purchased on 1/11/17 and long-term capital gain. And unlisted share purchased on 1/10/22 and sold on 1/2/23, holding less than 24 months, so it is short-term capital gain. And diamond purchased on 28/21 and sold on 1/2/23, then less than 24 months, so it is short-term capital gain. Next, we discuss about the exempted capital gain. The first one is income from sale of shares in certain cases, section 10, subsection 36. That is, any income arising from the sale of equity shares in a company purchased on or after 1st day of March 2003 and before the 1st day of March 2004 is held for a period of 12 months or more is fully exempted. Next, any income from long-term capital assets being self-cultivated urban agriculture land on compulsory acquisition, section 10(37), that is capital gain arising from compulsory acquisition of self-cultivated urban agriculture land shall be fully exempted. Next, income from transfer of asset of an undertaking engaged in the business of generation, transmission and distribution of power, section 10(40), that is fully exempted because it is used for the business generation and transmission and distribution of power. Then, sale of residential house property, section 54. The capital gain from sale of long-term residential house property is exempted. It is to be invested in purchase of one residential house within 1 year and before 2 years of sale, and construction of one residential house within 3 years after the sale. Only the house property is exempted. Then sale of self-cultivated agriculture land, section 54B. The capital gain from sale of land is exempted, which is reinvested in purchase of another land within 2 years after sale. Next, compulsory acquisition of capital assets, section 54D. The capital gain arising from land building shall be exempted, which is reinvested in purchase of another land or building within 3 years after the acquisition. Next, sale of long-term capital asset being land or building or both, section 54EC. Here the gain is invested amount is fully exempted. Exemption of capital gain on invested in units of specified bonds, section 54EE. If any gain is invested units of specified bonds by the central government is fully exempted. Next, sale of long-term capital assets, section 54F. Any long-term capital gain reinvested in construction or purchase of residential house within 3 years or 1 year before or 2 years after sale is fully exempted. Next, transfer of assets due to shifting from factory from urban to non-urban areas, Section 54G. That is, the transfer for the purpose of shifting of assets is exempted up to purchase of capital assets. Next, transfer of assets of an industrial undertaking shifting from urban area to a special economic zone, Section 54GA. The shifting from urban area to special economic zone, the purpose of transfer of assets is fully exempted. Then exemption of capital gain on transfer of residential property, if capital gain is invested acquisition, is fully exempted. Thank you.